With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. There were a few matters which the Holland City Council addressed during its bi-weekly business meeting last night. One matter was terminating a brownfield reimbursement agreement for the Black River Flats development project off of Sherwood Avenue and M40. The initial plan was to construct a senior housing complex, a mixed-use commercial office building with upper-story apartments, and an approximately 200-unit apartment building on a 20-acre site at a cost of $56.8 million. The agreement from 2019 called for an annual report by the developer, but the property has since changed hands, and Mayor Nathan Box explained what then led to a unanimous vote for terminating the agreement.
They had to be able to prove to us every year that a certain percentage of the people that were living in those apartments met certain income requirements, that they were lower income individuals, and that they didn't do that reporting to us.
The Tulip City's governing panel also unanimously approved several amendments to the Unified Development Ordinance, as well as received a final report of the strategic plan and business plan for the just completed fiscal 26 budget year. It's harder to get appointed than elected. That sentiment from Laketown Township Supervisor Steve Ringelberg was made during last night's workshop session by that community's Board of Trustees. This is due to last month's resignation by Sherry Serco from the township's Parks and Recreation Board. No reason was given in her notice as to what led to the decision. In accepting the resignation, Ringelberg wasn't about to try to figure out why.
I think anybody who is a member of a board of Laketown Township has the right to resign. They don't have to identify why they're resigning in the letter. I think it just is respectful to follow their wishes.
With a state-mandated 45-day window for trustees to fill the elected vacancy through the end of Serco's term in 2028, the Township Board agreed to move their scheduled meeting from next Wednesday to July 14th, post the opening on the Township's website and Facebook page, have Township Manager Stephanie Fox accept applications through 12 noon on July 10th, have her hold a public hearing on July 14th to go over trustees' review of all of the applications, and to have up to 5 finalists come to the Township Hall off of Beeline Road on the 14th for interviews ahead of a final vote by the board. Gee, the traffic is terrific may be a line in the Christmas song Home for the Holidays, but could also pertain to this coming Independence Day festive period. With AAA of Michigan predicting more than 2 million motorists hitting the road for more than 50 miles from home through Sunday night, state, county, and local law enforcement entities will have extra patrols on hand to ensure safe travels. While cracking down on speed may be the emphasis of this particular holiday period, as well as throughout the month of July, looking out for distracted, reckless, and impaired driving will be on the minds of those in blue, black, or brown. According to Ottawa County Sheriff Eric DeBoer.
Please just have your fun, celebrate together. Obviously, it's a great opportunity for all of us to have some fellowship together, but think it through.
The extra patrols are financially supported with federal traffic safety funds through the State Office of Highway Safety Planning. Michigan State Police responded to a pair of crashes yesterday morning near the US 131 M6 interchange, and that's near Byron Center. The first crash happened just after 7 a.m. between a semi and a sedan on southbound US 131, with the 64-year-old semi driver from Allegan dying and the driver of the sedan suffering minor injuries. It was not determined if the driver from Allegan had a medical condition which led to his death or he died because of the incident. The second incident came just before 9 a.m. on westbound M6 just after the US 131 interchange. 2 people are in critical condition, a third had minor injuries. That crash happened when 2 sedans were traveling between 2 semi-trucks, and the semi at the back of the line didn't stop in time for slower traffic. Troopers say the sedans were sandwiched between the trucks. 1 person is dead, 4 others hospitalized after a wrong-way crash on I-196 in Grand Rapids last night. A 23-year-old man was eastbound on I-196 west of Lake Michigan Drive when he crossed the median and hit a westbound vehicle head-on. A passenger in his SUV was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 of the 4 who were hurt are in critical condition. A 7-year-old was in the backseat of the westbound vehicle, is hospitalized in stable condition. The driver of that vehicle wasn't hurt. No hometowns of those involved were disclosed. The incident comes nearly 2 weeks after a similar wrong-way crash on I-196 near Lane Avenue led to the death of a Jenison woman. A baby that was found dead in a porta potty at the Electric Forest Festival this past weekend in Rothbury had been born alive. An autopsy confirmed that the child was full term and was breathing when the birth came, and the postmortem examination found fluid in the baby's stomach and lungs. The youth's umbilical cord and placenta were also present when it was found. The mother has yet to be identified. Kalamazoo public safety detectives are investigating the stabbings of 4 people near the downtown district on Tuesday.
They're trying to find 45-year-old Darius Williams as a person of interest in the stabbings. He also has an active child support warrant. The first happened 4:40 p.m. near North Edwards and East Ransom Streets. A man was found with a cut to his face. The second happened in the same area just before 9:30 p.m. 3 men suffered what detectives say were serious lacerations. They're all hospitalized. Williams is black, 6'2", weighs about 190 pounds. He was last seen in a white tank top and black shorts. I'm Michael Arney.
State lawmakers have missed the July 1st statutory deadline to approve a budget for the next fiscal year, but say they are getting close. Representative Joseph Aragona, a Clinton Township Republican, suburban Detroit, says he's very optimistic that this will be done by the end of the week. But Democratic Representative Joe Tate of Detroit, the former State House Speaker, isn't as optimistic, says talks are still underway over school funding and making sure Michiganders have access to health care. The votes on the budget bills are expected to happen at some point today in the House and Senate. Minors wouldn't have to get work permits to land jobs under legislation approved by the State House. The bill would scrap Michigan's youth work permit and registration systems and require employers to obtain and retain proof of a minor's age while they are employed. Democrats say the bill weakens safeguards that were designed to protect children at work, but Republicans claim the bill preserves existing protections on hours, prohibited occupations, and workplace safety, and makes it easier for people to get jobs. Zach McKinstry's 2-run single highlighted a 4-run 11th inning as A.G. Hinch's Tigers swept the Yankees in New York yesterday 6-2.
Our guys were in the fight from the beginning of the game. Both teams were, and fun flight ahead, after a really, really good series.
Detroit takes on the Texas Rangers in Arlington this evening with coverage from Dan Dickerson at 7:40 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Michael Conforto cracked 2 homers and drove in 4 runs as Craig Counsell's Cubs romped over the visiting San Diego Padres yesterday 23-3.
The conditions the last 3 days are just it's so unique. There's no place else that ever plays like this. Not even close. This is a unique place.
Idle tonight, Chicago hosts the St. Louis Cardinals at Wrigley Field tomorrow afternoon. Dean Kramer scattered 4 hits with 4 strikeouts over 6 innings as the Baltimore Orioles defeated the visiting White Sox yesterday 6-1.
Feel good. Feel good enough to be here. And it's pretty hot today. But other than that, no, feel good. Stuff's okay.
Chicago clashes with the Guardians in Cleveland this evening. Clayton Campbell's 2-run single broke a 7-7 tie and highlighted a 6-run West Michigan 8th inning as the Whitecaps rallied past the visiting Lake County Captains last night 10-7. The series at LMCU Ballpark in Comstock Park continues this evening. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.